Shalom Israel. Before I start, I want to give all glory, honor, and praise to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Bahara Kakadash, doubling us to the elders and apostles in Israel who rule and teach well, to the Akims and the Iwas and Byways and those pushing videos in truth, sincerity, to the brothers and sisters in the truth. Now this is 2 Corinthians 4 and verse 3. It says, "But if our gospel be hid, it is hid to them that are lost." Now we understand that, I'm not going to be saying who's lost from who's not lost, but the fact of the matter is, when we heard this truth, everything just clicked. There weren't no if buts or maybes, no long speech or anything. We understood what was being taught to us. And when you come into this truth, you at times try to share that same joy that you get from receiving this knowledge to your fellow brothers and sisters, and then you find out that they're not really getting it. And it's a case of, Yahushua said, "I have chosen you, you have not chosen me." And that's the key thing. We don't choose who receives this knowledge and who don't. But it says, if our gospel be hid, it is them to that loss. And like I said, I'm not going to be saying who's lost from who's not lost. But the reason why some of our people ain't receiving this knowledge, this understanding, this truth, because it's been hid from them. Now that word hid, there's a shortened version of hide. It says there now,
Strong's G 2572, Kalupto.
It says to hide, veil, to hinder the knowledge of a thing. Now, to hinder the knowledge, meaning the understanding has been hidden from those who can't get this truth. That means they're ignorant to this knowledge, because that's the opposite of knowledge, is to be ignorant, because ignorant is to not know. It says to hinder the knowledge of a thing. And that's what's been happening, man. The God of this world has been blinding and hindering our people, from this truth, and what I mean by that is, it's Yahweh who chooses who gets this knowledge, but then at the same time, many of our people, they look at the things that they can achieve in the world, and that stops them from coming into this truth, because you have to give up certain things when you come into this truth. Like the scripture tells you not to love this world. I'll bring that up now actually. 1 John 2:15 says, "Love not the world, neither the things that are in the world. If any man love the world, the love of the Father is not in him." And many of our people, what hinders them from actually receiving this truth, this life-saving knowledge, is their love of the world and their love for the things that are in the world. Us, on the other hand, like, we know that we can't be attached to anything that's in the world. That don't mean we don't like nice things, but we'll choose this truth over those nice things. Whereas those that are in the world, they'll choose the nice things over this truth. And that's one of the reasons why this truth is hidden to many of our people. That knowledge is being hindered for them to grasp. It says, 2 Corinthians 4:3, it says, "But if our gospel be hid, is hid to them that are lost." It says, "In whom the God of this world has blinded the minds of them which believe not." So how are they blinded? It might be through material things, through, could be through their partner. They love their partner more than they love this truth. Might be a music deal, whatever it might be. But it's the things of this world. It says the God of this world has blinded the minds of them which believe not. And what are they blinded by? They're blinded by the things of this world. It says, "Lest the light of lest the light of the glorious gospel of Mashiach, who is the image of the Most High, should shine unto them." So it says they've been blinded. And when we look at this word, they're blinded. Yeah. That's what's happened to many of our people. Even though they actually go back into the world, they're blinded. They've been blinded by the God of this world to believe that the things of this world is worth more than showing patience and endurance in this truth and waiting on Yahweh Shai. The blessings and the promises don't seem to be anything to them worthwhile waiting for. So they're more likely to go back to the world and continue in the things that they were doing in the world. And that's a person that's blinded, man.
Strong's G 5186. Tufla'o. Tufla'o.
So it says to blind, it's like a make blind in the New Testament metaph, to blunt the mental discernment, darken the mind. And that's what's happened to our people that is either failing to get this truth or has been in the truth and gone back in the world, man. Your mental discernment has been blunted. Now that word discernment, when you look at that word discernment, it says the ability to judge well. Like if there's judgment coming, there's a kingdom which you can receive. All you have to do is endure to the end and be patient. It's like it, Israel. Yes, like it. It says the ability to judge well. So if there's a kingdom coming and you choose to then go back in the world, that is the ability, you're lacking the ability to judge well. And what you're doing, you're choosing the things of the world over the promises that the Most High has given. And that's someone that's been blinded. So when we go back to 2 Corinthians 4 and 3, it says, but if our gospel be hid, it is hid to them that are lost, in whom the God of this world has blinded the minds of them which believe not, lest the light of the glorious gospel of Mashiach, who is the image of the Most High, should shine onto them. And that's what's happened, man. They've been blinded. Now, that same thing was tried unto Yahushua, which he resisted. It says again, this is Matthew 4 and 8. It says, again, the devil taketh him up into an exceeding high mountain, and showeth him all the kingdoms of the world and the glory of them, and saith unto him, all these things will I give thee, if thou wilt fall down and worship me. Then and what's that? He's trying to show him the wonders and the wiles of this world. Yeah, then saith Yahushua unto him, get thee hence, Satan, for it is written, thou shalt worship the Lord thy power, and him only shalt thou serve. So when you're choosing the things of the world, you're then choosing who you're willing to serve. The scripture speaks about you can't serve the Most High and Mammon. So the God of this world is blinding many of our people, and we just have to stay faithful, keep praying, keep fasting, that the Most High keeps the spirit upon us, man, to continue on this walk. But this is just something short I want to touch on, because you can see that many of our people are being blinded, and they're lacking the ability to judge well. And it says an astonishing lack of discernment. Actually, let me look up this word there. An astonishing lack of discernment. Astonishing. Extremely surprising or impressive, amazing. Yeah, this is what our people are lacking, man. An extremely surprising or impressive, understanding of discernment, man. But we don't want to be blinded. So, yeah, continue in this faith, man. Continue this truth. Thank the Most High that is actually not hidden this gospel from us. Thank the Most High that has not blinded us by the things of this world. And like I was saying, many of our people that actually came into this truth and have gone back into the world, they've allowed themselves to be blinded by the God of this world, man. They're lacking patience, thinking that the things of this world supersedes the promises that the Most High has made. That's someone that's blinded, lacking discernment and judgment. So, just something I came across, reading the scripture, it just dawned on me that, many of our people are blinded, and we don't want to fall into that same traps, But let's persevere, man. Let's persevere, because there's nothing worthwhile in this world which can supersede what the Most High has promised for us, and we're not going to be blinded by the things of this world and by the God of this world. Let me bring up one more quick precept. This is 1 Corinthians 1. Yeah. But remember, it says but if our gospel be hid, it is hid to them that are lost. This 1 Corinthians 1 and verse 18, it says, for the preaching of the cross is to them that perish foolishness. Yeah, that's someone that's lost, someone that's perishing them. It says the preaching of the cross, this truth, yeah, is foolishness to them that perish. It says, but unto us which are saved is the power of the Most High, because there's power in this word, man. It changes you, brings you back to life. Because in the world we are dead. Yeah, but it's just something I want to touch on quickly. With that, I'm going to close out. Give all glory, honor, and praises to Yahweh, Bashem Yahushai, Wahara Kakadash, Kwame Sha'ala.